What is up, YouTube? New promo, which of course is going to be new rerolls. I don't want to say new odds because it is Madden, but you guys already know what this video is. Free agency, rerolls, kind of odds. We're going to go through the cheapest training, what to do with each overall, post reroll, and all of that fun stuff. So hopping right into it, man. Cheapest training, and I wouldn't really say there's any cheap training right now. 94 overalls are up to 100k. 95 overalls are at about 120 to 125 lazy selling. You can pick up 95s at the cheapest for 110k, but that's not going to be the best training at the current moment. That is going to go to the 92 overalls, and I will say 92 overall free agents. You can filter by all offense and all defense, and it's not too hard to pick these guys up at 35k. When I actually recorded this video, and because I already had training kind of preloaded onto my account early this morning when I did roll for this video, I didn't realize how many of these cards were getting listed up very, very cheap. I got a bunch for 31 and 32k. While I was kind of gathering this footage, and I actually just cut it off because I just ended up buying like 5 or 6 92s for 31, 32k because I need some training to power up some players. But yes, you're going to want to filter all offense, all defense. You also can, and this is more like if you need abilities for your players or you want to power up maybe a lower overall player. 88 overalls for around the 7k mark. They get listed not like pretty often, I would say. 7k actually is like it's like 2.8, 2.9 training per, but of course, if you want to reroll, you're gonna be wanting to reroll probably over 100k training, and no one wants to sit there and buy 50, 45, 88 overalls. However, if you want to like power up some players, add some abilities, I'd say 88 overalls are actually kind of a low-key good training ratio, good kind of cheapest training, but it's not gonna be for rerolls because you want to buy kind of like 92 overalls, you'll probably buy like 5, and you gotta buy 50, 88, so it's not the best thing for like time's sake. But hopping into the training store, there's 2 rerolls, 88 plus and 95 overall. We're focusing on the 88 plus reroll. 6, of course, 6k training times that 3.8k ratio for training coins per, about 22, 23k per roll in terms of coin spending on a per roll basis. So it's not too bad, but I will say there's not a lot of overalls you can pull. Of course, 88, 92, 95, and 98. You cannot pull the 98 champions, I do believe, although I don't quote me on that, but 98 overall champions, I don't think you could pull. But now, hopping into the odds, 88 overall at about 60%. They are going to quick sell for 2180 training points, so you are losing, like technically, let's say, 4,000 times about 4. You're going to be losing like 15k coins technically when you pull an 88 overall, so it is a pretty significant like loss. However, 92 overalls are already going up to 10k training. At 35%, you're making what, a 4k training profit, so you're getting that 15k kind of negative from an 88, while you're getting a 15k positive from a 92, so it kind of evens out. Yes, 60%, 35%, but I actually will say you pull a lot more 92s than you would think. 88s overall do come out a lot, but 92s actually like frequently, it feels like it's every other one is an 88 and 92. 95 overall, huge leap, 26k training points. They're going to be coming out of packs at 2.8%, which is actually pretty bad, going from 35 to 2.8, going from 92 to 95. That's pretty awful. However, 98 overalls at 1.5%. I think this is the best odds. By the way, all these stats done by Grant. I'll throw his Twitter link in the description below, but 98 overall LTDs at 1.5% is probably the best I've seen LTDs come out of the last few rerolls, so not too bad. Of course, Russell Wilson, Calais Campbell being the 2 LTDs you can pull. By the way, here's the 95 animation. You can kind of see there's like lines, and it's the same Gridiron Guardians 1 pack animation, a little bit kind of, I wish they would have had a new pack animation, but if you see a 95 plus, there's going to be lines kind of in the background. But now hopping in to what to do with each overall, and this is the problem I have with kind of even overall rerolls, is there's just not that much to do. You can't really use 88 and 92 overalls for sets. The 88 overalls, of course, being pretty good training value, you're pretty much just going to want to discard them. And of course, the 92 overalls were the cheapest training we were buying at. You can lazy sell at about 45, 46k. But like if you're going to do the reroll again, you might as well just quick sell at 92, save you some time. So that's kind of why I don't love this reroll, and I don't really like hate it. It's just even number rerolls. I like when you can pretty much reroll and you get odd number cards and you can throw them in team of the year sets, team builder sets, whereas these ones, it's like you're just discarding them, and that's pretty much just favoring EA's like odds, and you're playing into their hands. However, the 95 overalls you are not going to sell in the market for 120. We're actually going to go through into the 98 overall champion sets. Remember that number, 120k, and I'll actually throw the stats up here. So if we actually take that number 120, we take off the tax. So let's say we were to sell a 95 overall for 108K after tax. Well, I would rather just do the set. It's going to cost a total. And I would say probably if you're going to reroll, I know it's kind of rare. It's really hard to pull a 95, but if you can, try to roll until you get 4 95s, or at least buy like one, or pull 2, pull 3, buy 1. So you're going to be spending 432K technically if you were just sell the 95 overalls on the block. But remember, you also are getting some training back. You're getting actually 26K training in return, which actually equals out to about 100K at that 3.8K ratio. So technically, you're spending 331K worth of value into the set. And you can see, as long as you actually are able to sell a 98 overall champion for, well, what, so 330K, so it'd be pretty much 370. As long as you're able to sell one of these 98 champions for 370K, it is more worth it to just do a set and sell off the 98 champion. Whereas if you were just to sell the 95 overall cards on the block for 120K, I know that is a little confusing. Hopefully it makes sense. Pretty much means if you get the 95 overalls, try to complete a 98 overall champion set. Hopefully you can sell them. Evan Ingram going for about a 420K is not too bad at all. And then of course the 98 LTDs, you're kind of just out of luck, right? They're very common to pull, so they're not going to go up too much as an investment. Not going to be investing in Cleus Campbell, and I'm going to be honest, I'm probably not going to buy too many Russell Wilsons. He's a good card, good quarterback, but it's just these cards are just flying out of reels, just like Randy Moss. I mean, Randy Moss is going to be a decent investment just because his popularity and demand is so high. It's just whenever there's reroll LTDs, they just can't go up too much because the quantity being pulled is just absolutely absurd in comparison to like a normal LTD, like a Thursday or an Ultimate Legend. But that is all for this. I know it's a little short one. These videos can't be too long because I don't want to just ramble basically about 88 overall, 92 overalls, and what you can do with them. Fortunately for this reroll, you pretty much just have to discard them. And then of course the 95 overalls you're going to throw in the 98 champion set, preferably Evan Ingram, sell them off for at least 370K to make it worthwhile. But that is all for this video. Comment if you have any questions, like if you enjoy, subscribe if you're new, and until next time, peace.